Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Johnny, and today we got an update from the Pokemon Company regarding the issue of the missing Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So believe it or not, Junichi Masuda decided to make a message to the Pokemon fans as it is in their blog post on their website. A message for the Pokemon video game fans. So this has already been translated and it's straight from Junichi Masuda of Game Freak, so let's go ahead and read it. Thank you to all of our fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently, I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I read all your comments and I appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon and each and every one of them is very important to us. After so many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. I like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, that does not mean it will not appear in future games. The world of Pokemon continues to evolve. The Galar region offers new Pokemon to encounters, trainers to battles, and adventures to embark on. We are pouring our hearts into these games and we hope you will look forward to joining us on a new adventure. Junichi Masuda. So he's basically confirming again and reassuring everybody in the Pokemon community that he is not going to include the other Pokemon regardless of all the controversial stuff that's been going out where people are saying that, oh well, Pokemon is not going to appear, some Pokemon are not going to appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and he's just kind of telling the audience, well, you know what, screw you guys, we're still not going to include him in the update even with all the backlash. We're still not going to include the additional Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, reading another message from him, like just coming out to the public and stating that this message to the whole Pokemon community, it's just basically saying that they're not going to do anything about the missing Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They're already made up their minds and they're not going to actually bring back every single Pokemon. So to be honest, I am kind of disappointed, but I'm not going to be one of the people that say, oh my god, bring back the national decks and complain about it. I'm still going to buy the game regardless of whether it has a limited amount of Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure it's going to have pretty much almost every single favorite Pokemon of mine. But there, you know, it's just disappointing because in the quote in the whole statement that he made, he said that specific Pokemon may become available in the future in future Pokemon games. So it says Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Shield. That does not mean it will not appear in future games. This is where I have a little bit of a problem with his statement, simply because he's saying that in future games they will appear. So it's kind of like addressing the issue that, you know, if you buy this other future game, you will get your older Pokemon back. Yeah, that does not sit well with me. What if they make a Pokemon Sword and Shield sequel and then you just gotta go ahead and buy the other game, and this time it will truly bring every single Pokemon game, kind of like Pokemon. It's just they're gonna make another game to it. Maybe they can go ahead and cheap out and release a continuation of Sword and Shield, or kind of like what they did with Ultra Sun and Moon. They'll add new Pokemon. That's kind of my theory of where they're headed. That maybe the continuation of Sword and Shield, or like, you know, the third version of Sword and Shield will come out and they will add all Pokemon. You know, that doesn't sit well with me, in my opinion. So if you ever want to get all your Pokemon, you gotta buy it in future games, or who knows, maybe even in the future games they're still gonna limit Pokemon and take out some and bring some back in. I know that I am upset about the Pokemon not being included, and I can understand many people's frustrations. You know, the whole community tried to they got the message across to them, obviously, but they're still not changing their mind. They're not gonna let you bring every single Pokemon you want. That's from my understanding, is that they heard everybody saying that the Pokemon issue. They heard everybody's thoughts all over Twitter, everybody that's complaining, and yeah, they're still not gonna listen to you. And I can definitely see the side of the argument. Well, they are being a little bit lazy. And in my opinion, they are kind of being a little bit lazy, bringing all the Pokemon. In my opinion, it kind of does upset me of their future. Not even an update. You could even say, oh, we're going to try to fix the issue and bring in additional Pokemon in an update. They didn't even decide to do that. So, or not even DLC. Not many people were saying, well, they could have fixed this issue with DLC, but personally, I think they can't even fix it with a paid DLC, to be honest, because that would just add a little bit more fuel to the fire. Because if you're charging for to bring your Pokemon into the future of the Pokemon games for Pokemon Sword and Shield, I never saw that a viable option for them to fix their issues, to do paid DLC to bring all the older Pokemon. And that's just my opinion, and it would have said the community more. So I honestly don't know why they can't make an update. I mean, Pokemon Home wasn't supposed to be released till 2020 anyways, so it just mind boggles me why they cannot do an update on it. I just wish they would come out and say, hey, we're gonna release maybe 20 new Pokemon every single month into the game after Pokemon Home comes out. Let's keep the game alive and release new Pokemon every month. Let's add Pokemon into the game through an update. Let's get back to the community and try to fix everything. But instead, they come out and kind of, this statement right here just kind of reassures me that, well, they're not going to bring back those Pokemon. Now, I can understand from their perspective of development in certain ways, and many people are gonna say, well, you know, they still have to model everything, or every model can be imported from the previous games. I don't know how development goes. Some people say that it is difficult to develop everything back into it for the game, but you know, I can understand if they're still having a lot of developments going on, because if you guys would have heard of the video game Town that they're developing, because they're actually developing another IP video game called Town for the Nintendo Switch, so it may be a reason why they are switching their focus toward completing that video game and not being able to actually meet deadlines for. They're trying to meet their deadlines to release the video game Town. I don't know when that game is supposed to release that they're currently developing, but they are developing other games. And I'm pretty sure they're probably already started to work on other Pokemon projects of games. I'm pretty sure they have like several different games in project right now where they're developing for the Nintendo Switch. Maybe they're even developing the next 2 Pokemon games already in the middle of development at this point. So yes, that could be a reason why they can't bring all the Pokemon back, or they just don't want to. And I don't know. I'm half and half on the situation. I'm still going to buy the video game. Definitely going to buy it. I'm a big Pokemon fan, and even if they limit the Pokemon, it's not like gonna be the end of the world for me. I still love Pokemon, and I feel like it's still going to be a decent adventure. So from previous interviews that I've read, basically they say the game is going to have a lot of content for competitive players, and there's going to be a lot of post content. And if they add a lot of post content into Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think I will personally be fine with it. Even though they don't have the inclusion of every single Pokemon that was in the Pokemon games in the past. So I don't know. People can really get upset of this of these news, and I mean, Twitter, for God's sake, the Pokemon company came out and I don't know. To me, in this message, I'm just totally losing hope for all the older Pokemon. I know that some of you guys may still have that little tiny bit of hope, but with this message, it's just basically reassuring everybody, hey, we're not bringing every single Pokemon back, and you guys have to understand, we're not. We'll bring them in future games. Another thing I wanted to discuss in this video was Pokemon Home. That supposedly you're going to be able to trade Pokemon in the app. That's what I read from I don't remember, from an interview. I think it was from an interview where they talked about it a little bit more. And it might have some other cool features in it as well. So you'll still be accessing your Pokemon in some kind of form of way. It's not that you're not going to have your Pokemon out of them completely. I think Pokemon Home might even bring some extra mini games or something to do inside of it. I feel like Pokemon Home, since it's available even on the phone applications, there's going to be a little bit more aspect to it, but we'll see whenever they announce the full details for it next year, maybe later this year. So yeah, how do you feel about these news? Do you think that they should add the next Pokemon? I mean, I've just been seeing all over Twitter, everybody is still complaining about this. I see memes, I see people talk about the graphics, the animations now in these Pokemon games. People are literally out there doing some type of animation and be like, you can't bring in the model, you say. Well, we can do even better animations and we can bring in models really quick through our Blender 3D program. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna come away from this controversial topic anytime soon, and I just hope that they change their mind. But what it looks like to me, since he released this statement again, he's reassuring everybody, trying to do damage control, and they're not going to make these Pokemon available, but they will appear in future games that you have to buy, since every Switch game is now $59.99. Even they're pretty expensive now. Well, they're not super expensive, but they're even more expensive. So we're gonna say that hopefully they change their mind, and we're gonna end the video with that. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Are you disappointed that you're not going to get all your Pokemons into Sword and Shield? Half on half. I can see both sides from the issue, and that's pretty much my opinion. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.